Hey guys, this week we're on Chapter 9, Principles of Hair Design. Our motivational thought of the day is friends come and go, but a good hairstylist is forever. What do you think that quote means? Well, I've always said I'd rather find another doctor than have to find another hairstylist. When you find a good hairstylist, you want to stay with that person because that person knows the type of hair you have, what you like, and what they know what you need. So you want to stick with that person. All right. Who loves watching home makeover shows? I know I do. My favorite ones are Rehab Addict with Nicole Curtis and Fixer Upper. The people from Magnolia, Chip and Joanna Gaines. And the reason why I like them is because they don't like going in and actually changing something. They like to keep their homes as near as what they were as possible. So people come in, and sometimes people do want drastic changes to their hair, but other times people come in and they want a little something different, but they don't want to change altogether. And once you know a hairstylist and you've got them and you've had them for a while, they know that you don't want something just, you know, out of this world and crazy and nothing like that. Or they may know you and they're like, I know you like these bold colors and let's try this. So sticking with the same person is going to help you a lot. Or you being the stylist, if you're staying at that same salon and building up your clientele and not going from this salon to that salon to that salon and moving around, people are going to want to stay with you because they know they can count on you. Okay, why study principles of hair design? Design is the foundation of artistic application, including the hair design. Most artists, architects, fashion designers, photographers have a strong visual eye. You likely do too, since you chose a career in the beauty industry. Formal hair design education will help you understand how hair looks, moves, and reacts to styling. It will also help you develop artistic skill and judgment. It will give you the foundational tools for basic technical steps for support and creative style. Because, like any artist, you are an artist too. You just do not put your drawings on paper or on an easel. You have a walking billboard once you do your artistry. They're walking around and showing off your work every time you do it. Distinguish yourself and create a notable signature for your talent alongside other professionals to gain your business footprint. Social media influencers and do it yourself consumers have a universal platform that helps brand them, capture client appeal, and gain consistent followers. Clients are also becoming more educated about their hair and preferred product choices. Your professional training and technical expertise are more important than ever. They will provide a credentialed point of difference to establish you as a quality resource for providing a premium service experience for their informed client. As a cosmetologist, you should study and have a thorough understanding of hair design principle because you'll know why a particular hairstyle will or will not be the best choice for your client. Hair design principles will assist you in achieving your hairstyling vision. You'll be able to realize the creative expectations of your clients, and you'll have skills to create looks that emphasize the client's best attributes while minimizing areas of concern. Now, I hope you're following along in your book and keeping up with what I'm talking about and making notes so you can go back and answer your questions at the end of this. Okay, design philosophy. Artists use many ideas when creating a design. Often this creative exploration morphs into developing a design philosophy. That includes objectives, goals, and step-by-step planning to mold a unique vision into a piece of art. There are 5 planning steps that can assist you in bringing a design to life. Seek inspiration. Create a plan. Work the plan. Try and try again. Take calculated risk. Now, if you ever woke up in the middle of the night, I know I do, and I think of ways that I can do things to help teach you better. Have you ever woke up thinking, hey, I know I can do this hair design, I can do this updo if only I place the hair in a different way than what I was thinking or how I was doing it the first time? You know, you get your inspiration while driving down the road by looking at the way somebody twist up, say, a pretzel, anything. You get good ideas by anything, not just by watching somebody else do hair, but you get ideas by doing whatever. Okay? So, seeking inspiration. Inspiration can emerge from many sources: movies, your peers' video, or a person on the street. Anything, anywhere can spark the creative process. Motivation can evolve from influencers, comments in other industries such as music icons or internet personalities, DIY, beauty influencers or social media, and established beauty websites are constantly looking for styles and trends. Their pages, channels, and websites are also great sources for networking, connectivity, and inspiration. Works of art are also provided a great beginning for a visual creativity. You may look at a classic or contemporary artwork on the internet or a gallery, and inspiration will emerge. The 5-step plan is continued. Create a plan. A good designer always envisions the result before beginning the design. For example, architects first visualize a building's final design and then complete the drawings to realize it. And you never do something without actually visualizing how it's going to happen, do you? I mean, you're not going to just look at somebody and say, yeah, we'll do that updo and maybe it'll be all right. You're going to envision how it's going to look on that person, practice on them, and say, you know, I had an idea of how I wanted to do your hair, and I envisioned it doing like this. So you have already created a plan in your mind. In hair design, stylists first study the client and hair and then envision changes in texture, form, and direction to creatively plan the results. So if you know that client, you know the texture of their hair, you know if it's going to hold the curl or if it's going to be hard to curl, how are you going to do that hair? Work a plan. Decide which tools and techniques are needed to achieve your design. Organize your thoughts. Ensure the tools and products are available and ready to use. First, practice your techniques and plan design on a mannequin. Your original concept may turn into something entirely different as you work through your plan. Be open to change, and the creative process will be exciting and satisfying. Try and try again. It takes initiative, time, and experience to train your eye to recognize which hairstyle works best on different face shapes and body types. And that's with anything. Try and try again. You never give up. Along with learning through studying this text, practice repeatedly until you gain working knowledge of the process. Do not get frustrated. The more you practice, the better you will become. While all good stylists have made a significant number of design mistakes in the past, all great stylists learn and grow from their experiences. A strong design and technical foundation, along with an open mind, will make you a great stylist. Once you achieve these skills, your creativity will kick in and you can move beyond the basics. Take calculated risk. Having a strong knowledge of basic techniques and practicing personal skills allows you to take calculated risks, which builds your creativity. Open stylists limit positive risk and confine themselves to their current comfort zone. This lack of desire or courage to evolve their skills will eventually make their hair designs look dated and uninspiring. Always explore new possibilities and customize your design to each client's individual needs and lifestyle. Great hairstylists find inspiration everywhere by keeping an eye out for what is new in the beauty industry and by dedicating themselves to their continuing education. Stay focused on what your skill enhancing opportunities are online within your community and in the industry as a whole. This will help you stay current and on top of your hairstyling and business skills. 5 elements of hair design. We have design lines, form, space, design texture, and hair color. We have horizontal lines for the design lines, vertical lines, diagonal lines, and curved lines. The horizontal lines create width in the hair design, extend in the same direction, maintain a constant distance, and are parallel to the floor and relative to the horizon. Build weight to create one length and low elevation haircuts. So just remember that because you will see that again in a test and possibly on an exam. Remember, extend in the same direction, maintain a constant distance apart, and are parallel to the floor and relative to the horizon. Vertical lines create an length and height in the hair design and make a hairstyle appear longer and narrower as the eyes follow the lines up and down. Remove weight to create graduated and layered haircuts and are used with higher elevation. Diagonal lines, positioned between horizontal and vertical lines, often used to emphasize or minimize facial features. Used to create interest in the hair design, and there are 2 types of diagonal lines. We have diagonal forward lines, and they create movement towards the face, and diagonal back lines that creates movement away from the face. Then we have curved lines. Lines that move in a circular or semicircular direction to soften a design. Can be a large or small, a full circle or part of a circle, may move in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction to create the illusion of movement, can be placed horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, and curved lines repeating in opposite direction create a wave. Designing with lines. Hairstyles are created by the types of line, direction, and combination you choose. The hair design's overall look can be established through various line placements. Your understanding of the lines and how they are used will also assist you when working with braided additions, hair extensions, and the integration of hair pieces. Most of these designs are calculated by the use of synergistic design lines. Single lines, most often used in one length blunt hairstyles or simple one-dimensional designs using human or synthetic hair extensions. These hairstyles are best for clients requiring the lowest maintenance when styling their hair. Parallel lines, repeating lines in a hairstyle. The lines can be straightened or curved. The line repetition creates more interest in the design. Crimped hair or crinkle waves, for example, are curved parallel lines. Contrasting lines are horizontal and vertical lines that meet at a 90-degree angle, creating a hard edge. Contrasting lines usually create distinct looks and work best for clients who can pull off a strong style. Transitional lines, usually curved lines that blend and soften horizontal or vertical lines. They are used frequently when texturizing a haircut along with hair coloring placement and hair color blending. Directional lines with a definite forward or backward movement. Element 2 is form. A hairstyle's mass or general outline. It has 3-dimensional meaning. It has length, width, and depth. Form is also referred to as volume. Solid, smoother forms with minimal texture often give a slimming appearance to the style's outline, while more textured forms can add weight. The hair forms should be in a proportion to the shape of the head and face, the length and width of the neck, and the shoulder line. Element 3, space, the area surrounding the form or the area the hairstyle occupies. We are more aware of the positive form than the negative spaces. In the hair design, the relationship of the form and the space changes with every movement. Keep every angle in mind of the forms created and the spaces surrounding the forms. The space may contain curls, curves, waves, straight hair, or any combination. Element 4 is design texture. The directional wave pattern or illusion of motion in the hair. Take design texture into consideration when creating a style for a client. All hair, whether straight, wavy, curly, or very curly, has a unique directional pattern as its own movement. The following examples help define the illusion of motion in the hair. Straight hair reflects light better than other patterns. It reflects the most light when cut to a single length. Wavy hair can be combed directionally to create horizontal lines. Curly hair is more coiled and often grows more compactly. It reflects the light and can create a large form than straight or wavy hair. Creating design texture with styling tools. Texture can be created temporarily with heat and or wet styling techniques. And we have already done this in class. With the curling irons and flat irons, we can create wave or curl. Curling hair can be straightened using the flat brush or round brush or blow drying. Crimping irons can create unusual wave patterns. Hair can also be wet set with rollers. We can finger wave, braid, box locks, and other ways of creating temporary textured patterns to change. Changing design texture and with chemicals. There are various chemicals on the market that help remove or alter the hair texture. Some chemically infused surfaces that change the hair's natural texture, curl, or wave pattern are permanent, just like the chemical wave that we have practiced on the the wrapping of the perm on. Curly hair types are permanently straightened with relaxers. We have also practiced on them. And the straight hair can be curled with permanent waves. Designing with directional wave pattern. Use creative direction when considering multi-directional wave patterns in one design. This design is ideal for a client who wants a trendy multi-textured look with volume and unconstricted lines. Smooth patterns accent the face and are particularly useful when they wish to narrow a round shape. Curly patterns illuminate the face and can be used to soften the square or rectangle features. Element 5 is hair color. Hair color plays an important role in the hair design, both visually and psychologically. It can help define a design's texture and the line. Color can make all or part of the design appear larger or smaller by adding or subtracting volume. Depending on the placement of the color, can also accent or de-emphasize a particular part or style or client feature. A hair design's look can change depending on the chosen colors, pattern, or placement. Light formed colors create the illusion of the volume. Dark, cool colors recede or move in towards the head, creating the illusion of less volume. Alternating light and warmer colors with darker and cooler colors creates the illusion of dimension or depth. Color acts as an illusion and helps create attention lines. Because the eye is drawn to the lightest color present, you can use a light color to draw a line in a hairstyle in a direction you want the eye to travel. As with the highlights around the fringe or facial area, a single line of color or series of repeated colors create a blonde dramatic accent or work to enhance blunt lines around a hairstyle's perimeter, which is seen in the picture that says lines with color and the picture that has the blue in it. Five principles of hair design. 1 is proportion, 2 is balance, 3 is rhythm, 4 is emphasis, and 5 is harmony. And these are the 5 important principles in hair design that are also the basis of any hair design. The better you understand these principles, the more confident you will feel about creating the styles that are pleasing to the eye. Principle 1, proportion. The comparative relationship of one thing to another. For example, a 60-inch television might be considered out of proportion or disproportionate to a very small room. Understanding facial and head proportion is important to create styles and complement your client's features. Now, I can remember being in middle school, and there was a teeny tiny girl, and I can remember her name was Dawn, and she was so small, and she had the biggest head of hair. She was not proportioned correctly. Her hair was not proportioned with her body, and that's what they're talking about. And depending on how they are, depends on how they need to be. In our old book, it had different pictures to show you the different sizes of people and different sizes of their hair. And yes, there is sizes of hair. I mean, some days my hair is big, sometimes it's not. But look at the people and the size of their hair and see if they're proportioned the way they're supposed to be. Body portion. As a cosmetologist, you assist in developing your client's total image. It is important to have an understanding of body proportion to create styles that best fit each client. Body proportion becomes more obvious if the hair form is too small or too large. While there are subtle differences between individuals, there is a fairly standard range of proportions between the head and the body. The head is measured from the top of the head to the chin. This measurement is classically used to establish the proportion of the entire body. As a general guide for classic proportion, the hair should not be wider than the center of the shoulders, regardless of the body structure. When choosing a style for a client with large hips and broad shoulders, for instance, one would normally create a style with more volume. A tall, constructed up sweep style would appear out of a proportion on a petite person. Sorry, my throat was getting dry. All right, principle 2 is balance. This relates to establishing equal or appropriate proportion to create symmetry. In hairstyling, it can be the proportion of height to width. Balance can be symmetrical or asymmetrical. To measure symmetry, divide the face into 4 equal parts. The lines cross at the central apex, the reference point for judging the balance of a hair design. You can then decide if the hairstyle looks pleasing to the eye and is a correct balance. Symmetrical balance occurs when an imaginary line is drawn through the center of the face and the two halves form a mirror image of one another. Both sides of the hairstyle are the same distance from the center, are the same length, and have the same volume when viewed from front. Asymmetrical is established when the two imaginary halves of the hairstyle have equal visual weight but are positioned unevenly. Opposite sides of the hairstyle are different lengths or have different volumes, can be horizontal or diagonal. Principle 3 is rhythm. A regular pulsation or recurrent pattern of movement in a design. In music or dance, rhythm can be fast or slow. In hair design, a fast rhythm moves quickly. Tight curls are an example. Slow rhythm can be seen in larger shapes and loose waves. Principle number 4 is emphasis, also known as focus. In a design is what draws the eye first before it travels to the rest of the design. A hairstyle may be well balanced with good rhythm and harmony and yet still be boring. Create interest with an area of emphasis on focus by using the following: wave patterns, color, change in form, ornamentation. Continuing on, choose an area of the head or face that you want to emphasize. Keep the design simple so that it is easy for the eye to follow from the point of emphasis to the rest of the style. You can have multiple points of emphasis as long as you do not use too many and they decrease in size and importance. Remember, less is more. Harmony. This refers to design's unity, and this is the most important art principle. Harmony holds all the elements of the design together. When a hairstyle is harmonious, it has the following elements: form with interesting lines, pleasing color or combination of colors and textures, balance and rhythm that work together to strengthen the design. Harmonious design is never too busy and it is proportioned to the client's facial body structure. Excuse me. A successful harmonious design includes an area of emphasis from which the eye moves to the rest of the style. Use design principles in modern hairstyling to guide you as you decide how best to achieve a flattering appearance for your client. The best results are obtained when each of your client's facial features and their profile is properly analyzed for their strengths and weaknesses. Your job is to accentuate a client's best features. Every hairstyle should probably attractively frame the client's face. An artistic and suitable hairstyle will take into account physical characteristics such as head shape, including the front view, profile, and back view, neck length, facial features, body type, and posture. All right, the head forms. Great hair design begins with understanding the shape of the head, referred to as the head form. Hair responds differently on various head areas, depending on the hair's type, texture, and length. Being conscientious of where the head form curves, turns, and changes will help you to achieve the look that you and your client are seeking. That's the reason why it's so important to know the places on the head: the apex, the occipital bone, the parietal ridge, the frontal. Okay, so the parietal ridge, also known as the crest area, is the head's widest area, starting at the temples and ending at the bottom of the crown. Find the area by placing the comb flat on the side of the head. The parietal ridge is where the head starts to curve away from the comb. The occipital bone protrudes at the base of the skull. To find it, feel the back of the skull or place a comb flat against the nape and see where the comb leaves the head. Apex is the highest point on the top of the head. Locate the area by placing a comb flat on the head. The comb will rest on the highest point. All right, four corners may be located in two ways. One is by placing two combs flat against the side of the head, side and back, then locating the back corner at the point where the two combs meet. The second is by making two diagonal lines crossing the apex, which then point directly to the front and back corners. You will now use every reference point for every style or haircut, but it is important to know where you are. The four corners location, for example, signals a change in the shape of the head from that and vice versa, which can significantly affect a design outcome. The top, locate the parietal ridge to find the hair growth that grows on the top of the head. This hair lies on the head shape. Hair that grows below the parietal ridge or crest hangs because of gravity. Locate the top by parting the hair at the parietal ridge and continuing around the head. Front, make a parting or draw a line from the apex to the back of the ear to separate the hair that naturally falls into the front of the ear. The hair behind the ear from the front of the ear to the hair behind the ear. Everything that falls in front of the ear is the front. The sides include all the hair from the back of the ear forward below the parietal ridge. The crown is the area between the apex and the back of the parietal ridge. Many people have flat crown with cowlicks or whorls, making it extremely important to pay special attention to this area in styling and hair cutting. Many people have a flat crown with cowlicks or whorls. The nape is the back part of the neck and consists of hair below the occipital bone. Locate the nape by taking a horizontal parting or drawing a horizontal line across the back of the head at the occipital. Hair types and textures. Your client's hair type and texture is a major consideration in selecting a hairstyle. Hair type is characterized by directional pattern and hair texture. All hair is natural directional patterns. These patterns are straight, wavy, curly, and extremely curly or coily. A coil is defined as a very tight curl. It has a tight spiral formation and when lengthened or stretched resembles a series of loops. The hair type and textures in the bottom left corner, you have wavy hair, curly hair, and coily hair. There are generally 10 universal curl patterns ranging from wavy and curly to coily. Familiarize yourself with the different curl and coil patterns to provide clients with the best hair care, cut, and style options for beautiful, healthy hair. Understanding varying curl configurations allows you to select the correct cleansing, conditioning, and finishing products to best address the needs of varying hair types. Remember, the natural hair care industry does not have a one-size-fits-all policy. Clients can have more than one pattern and no two heads have the same hair texture. For the stylist, it is all about fulfilling the client's needs and creating and maintaining the hair texture's unique characteristics and integrity. And in the right-hand corner, you have the Andre Walker hair typing system. Type 1 is straight hair, type 2 is wavy, type 3 is curly, and type 4 is kinky hair. So the Andre Walker, it is described all the hair types, as well as the density, porosity, and the elasticity. Hair texture and density, the relationship between the two, are also important factors in choosing the hairstyle. The basic hair textures are fine, medium, and coarse. Hair density and hair per square inch ranges from very thin to very thick. Now you have some charts in your book. I'm not going to go over them charts while we're doing the PowerPoint. You can look at them while I'm going over the next slides. The styling options for hair patterns and textures, we have straight, fine, straight, medium, straight, coarse. And that's in your top left-hand corner. And if you'll look at your chart, it's in your chart also, okay? So straight, fine, hugs the head, shape, lacks body or volume, has marginal elasticity, silhouette is small and narrow, may not support many styling options, is left natural, recommended styling aids or chemical service to achieve flattering style. Straight medium offers more styling versatility, responds well to blow drying with various brush sizes, has a good amount of movement, responds well to rollers or thermal styling. Straight coarse is hard to curl, carries more volume, casts a slightly wider silhouette than straight fine or straight medium. Brushing and thermal flat styling may increase unwanted volume. Typically moisture resistant with more compact cuticle, therefore chemical services may take longer to process. Then we have the wavy fine, wavy medium, and wavy coarse. The wavy fine can appear fuller when diffused with heat and appropriately cut and styled. The cuticle is raised, may be fragile and prone to frizz, can look fuller when layering, responds well to blow drying and chemical service for smoothing and straightening. The wavy medium offers the most styling versatility, has the most pattern uniformity, responds well to heat and is easily diffused when dried from its natural state to look curly, can be easily straightened by blow drying. Wavy coarse, silhouette can be very voluminous if not shaped properly. Blow drying can be effective, but is not often easier for the stylist than the client. May be too wavy when straight and not curly enough for a curly style. Achieve a wash and wear curly style with a soft perm. Smooth or straighten with a chemical relaxer or keratin-based chemical treatment. Remove some weight from the interior with texture shears. Then we have curly fine, curly medium, and curly coarse. The curly fine, when worn long, often separates, revealing the client's scalp unless the hair is very dense. Responds well to mild relaxers, keratin-based chemical treatments for smoothing and straightening, and color services. Tangles easily. Use a thermal protecting detangler product before blow drying. The medium, silhouette with volume, when left natural, gives a soft romantic look. Silhouette should be proportional to the client's body shape, not overwhelm it. When shaping, keep in mind where the haircut's weight line will fall. Responds well to relaxers, keratin-based chemical treatment, and color. The coarse will mix of cold to extremely cold hair strands, usually are very compact and offers little to no movement. Prone to tangles and dryness, use products containing moisture. Cut dry, the hair will shrink considerably and once dried, making it appear much shorter. And then we have very curly fine, very curly medium, and coily afro texture. The fine generally best cut short. If long, the silhouette will be horizontally full and voluminous. Responds well to chemical service and chemical smoothing services. Responds well to blow dryer and thermal flat iron. Always apply a product with heat protectant properties when using any thermal appliances or tool. The medium, the silhouette can promote horizontal volume lines as it tends to widen as it grows longer. Responds well to chemical relaxers and chemical smoothers to narrow the shape. Responds well to pressing and thermal straighteners as well as braids and twists. In its natural state, close cropping in a flattering shape is great for styling, ease, and low maintenance. The coily afro texture is silhouette will be able to be wide. Chemical relaxant makes it more manageable and offers additional styling options. Often appears quite dense. In addition, state without chemicals responds well to short crop layers along with branded lock or twisted styles. Now, I know that was a mouthful. My mouth is so dry right now. All right, so hairstyles and facial shapes. And I do have some cutouts for facial shapes, and we will look at them while we're in class. One of the biggest challenges as a stylist is speaking to clients about styles that will best accentuate their facial shapes. You need to look at your client and figure out what kind of facial shape they have, and you need to pull their hair away from their face to do this. So not every look a client wants will work with their facial shape. Facial shape is determined by the position and prominence of their facial bones. A good way to determine the facial shape and have the client understand what is possible is to pull all their hair away completely off the face using a towel or a band to better observe just the face. There are 7 basic facial shapes: oval, round, square, triangle, pear-shaped, oblong, diamond, and inverted triangle, which is heart-shaped. Incorporate the process into the consultation. By sharing this information with the client and showing pictures of the hairstyles that are best suited for each shape, also share reasons certain facial shapes do not work well with some styles. To determine a facial shape, divide the face into 3 zones: forehead to eyebrows, eyebrows to nose, end of the nose, and the end of the nose to the bottom of the chin. Determining the face shape at the bottom down there, we have oval, round, square, and it's kind of hard to determine the round and the square, triangle, oblong, diamond, and heart. All right, so this is your oval face, and oval face can basically wear just about any hairstyle. The It's 1.5 times longer than its width. The forehead is slightly wider than the chin. It has no areas that is visibly dominant than the other. A person with the oval face can wear any hairstyle. The round face, of course, round hairline, round chin line. Client who desires a slimmer face, a hairstyle with height or volume on top and closeness on the or no volume at the sides can create the illusion of an elongated face. But you can see her face still looks round and fuller. The square face, for clients who desire to round out the square features, soften the hair around the temples and the jaw by bringing the shape or silhouette close to the head form. Create volume in the area between the temples and the jaw by adding width around the ears. But it still, to me, looks square. Oblong, if the client desires a shorter and wider facial shape, keep the hair fairly close to the top of the head, add volume on the sides, and create the illusion of a width. The hair should not be too long, as this will elongate the face oblong shape. Chin length styles are most flattering for this style type. Then we have oblong to create the illusion of a forehead width. If desired, create a hairstyle with volume at the temples and some height at the top. You can distinguish the forehead's narrowness with a soft bang or fringe. The diamond facial type, if the client wishes to reduce width across the cheekbone line, increase the fullness across the jawline and forehead while keeping the hair close to the head at the cheekbone line. Avoid hairstyles that lift away the cheeks or move back from the hairline on the sides near the ear area. The heart shape, to help balance this face shape style, the hair close to the head with no volume. A long or piecey bang or fringe is recommended. Gradually increase the silhouette's width as you style the middle third of the sketch shape in the cheekbone area and near the ears. Keep the silhouette at the widest at the jaw and the neck area. So again, we're going to be seeing who's got what face shape, okay? Okay, profiles and proportions. The design should look great from all angles. Every part should complement the client's unique physically. The style should never be too big or too small in comparison to the client's body proportion. All right, the profiles. You got straight, is neither convex, curving outward, or concave, curving inward. Although even a straight profile has a very slight curvature, generally all hairstyles flatter the straight profile. The convex has a receding forehead and a chin that can be complemented with an arrangement of curls or bangs over the forehead. Keep the style close to the head and the nape and move hair forward in the chin area. The concave has a prominent forehead and chin with other features receding inward. It can be complemented by softly styling the hair at the nape with an upward movement. Do not build hair into the forehead. Facial features. Understanding facial features and proportions will make it easier to analyze your client's face. The top third of the face, which is in the top right-hand corner, wide forehead, direct hair forward over the sides of the forehead. Narrow forehead, direct hair away from the face at the forehead. Receding forehead, if the client desires, direct bangs over the forehead with outwardly directing volume. Larger forehead, if the client desires, use bangs with little or no volume to cover the forehead. Middle third of the face, close set eyes. Clients with close set eyes usually have long, narrow faces. Direct their hair back and away from the face at the temples. Wide set eyes. Clients with wide set eyes usually have round or square faces. To add length to the hair, length to the face, make the eyes appear proportional, you can use a higher half bang. Middle third face. Crooked nose, asymmetrical, off-center styles are flattering as they attract the eye away from the nose. Wide flat nose, draw the hair away from the face and use a center part to help elongate and narrow the nose. Middle third of the face, long narrow nose, stay away from styles that are tapered close to the head on the sides with height on top. Small nose, a small nose often gives a childlike look when creating a hair design for an adult. Design an age-appropriate hairstyle not associated with children. Prominent nose, to draw attention away from the nose, bring the hair forward at the forehead with softness around the face. Lower third of the face. Analyzing the lower third of the face involves determining design considerations due to the shape of the jaw and the chin. The round jaw, use straight lines at the jawline. Square jaw, use curved lines at the jawline. Lower third of the face, long jaw. Hair should be full and fall below the jaw to direct attention away. Receding chin. Direct hair forward in the chin area. The last one, the lower third of the face. Small chin, move the hair up and away from the face along the chin line. Large chin, hair should be either longer or shorter than the chin to avoid drawing attention to the chin. Hair partings. Hair partings can be the focal point of a hairstyle. Because the eye is drawn to a part, be especially careful with placement. When possible, use an all-natural parting. You may, however, create a part according to your client's head shape or facial features or for a desired hairstyle. Creating a hairstyle that works against the natural crown parting is often challenging. For best results, try to incorporate the natural part into a finished look. Partings for the bang area is also known the fringe area. Triangle parting, the basic parting for the bang sections and gives a symmetrical balance to the facial features. Diagonal parting gives height to a round or square face and width to a long thin face. Curved parting used to minimize a receding hairline or a high forehead. Style partings, there are 4 other partings that can be highlighted facial features. Center partings used for oval faces, but also give an oval illusion to wide and round faces. Side partings start right above the center of the eye, back to the joint of the crown area. Style partings, diagonal back partings create the illusion of width or height in a hairstyle, making them an excellent choice of voluminous hairstyles. They also create a more even thickness on either side of the part. Rather, refer to hairstyles in your book. Zigzag partings create a dramatic effect. Styling for people who wear glasses. Eyeglasses have become a fashion accessory. Not all of us like wearing them, and some people who don't have to wear them enjoy wearing them, but they like to get the different ones. Many people change eyewear as often as they do clothes. When designing an appropriate hairstyle, it is important to know if your client wears glasses. When clients put on their glasses, the glasses temples, the part of the rest of the ear, can push the hair at the ear and cause it to stick out. Make sure that the hairstyles you recommend will work with the shape of their temples, temple hair, temple, and eyeglass frames. Make sure if you choose a short haircut, reconsider the hair's length around the ear. Leave it a little longer or cut the hair above and around the ear. For styling purposes, choose a style with enough hair covering the ear. Fine hair may pop out at the ear or direct the hair away from the face so that the arms of the glasses are not an issue. Okay, so what have we learned? We've learned how to explain principles, design principles, and how they are the basis of every professional style design. We know the outline of the components of the successful design philosophy. We know how to identify the 5 elements of the hair design and how they relate to hairstyling. We know how to outline the 5 principles of the hair design and the specific contributions to a hairstyle. We know how to identify the different head shapes and reference points to the head. We can explain them and influence the hair type and texture on design. We can identify the 7 different facial shapes and design and a beneficial hairstyle for each. We can describe how profiles and proportions contribute to hairstyles, and we can outline principles of hair designs as applied to sideburns. Okay, so now you have 20 questions that you have to answer in your book, your check-in questions, and you know what to do. You need to answer those check-in questions and put them in the box below. Please number each question before you put them in there. I hope you followed along in your book, and again, we will take out the face shapes and we will see who has what face shape in class.